Good evening, everyone. Let's see who
Good
is
evening.
joining.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh,
Hello. Hi.
my chairman just joined. That's the APC USA chairman,
Okay,
uh,
excellent.
Professor Tai Balofin.
Good
Great.
Professor,
evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good
good
evening,
evening.
everyone.
Good
Hello.
evening.
Good evening.
Is it possible to turn on your cameras, please?
Please turn on your camera.
Yes, sir. I'm at work at the moment. I was
Uh,
just listening on my
Okay,
break.
Okay.
okay.
Yes.
Oh,
All
you work
right.
late hours. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, maybe
Uh-huh.
later we can shoot a group photo, a screenshot.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Let's do that. By the way, Modupe, did,
Yes.
did you see the bio that I sent you? Would you like to read that bio or should I introduce myself?
Please introduce yourself, please, Michael. How many people do we have online?
I mean, we can wait a few more minutes.
Yes. How many people do you have there now? I can't even see it here.
Well, I see Ty, I see Donald's phone, and I see royalty. I see Princess Victoria.
Okay. All right. Let's wait for more people. Chairman Ty Balofin, are you online?
I'm online, but I'm in class.
Okay. All right. I just want to introduce
And
you. That's my chairman, and that's Michael Jordan, the expert in leadership training.
thank you, thank you. Are you you're in class? Are you teaching or learning?
He's a professor.
Nice. A professor of what?
Political science, everything.
Ah, excellent, excellent. Because I myself have been a visiting professor for many years of international and journalism as well. So, well, then while we're waiting a few minutes, maybe you guys can introduce yourselves a little bit. That
Exactly.
okay, so Donald is a professor of political science.
No, Thai, Thai
Hi,
Balogun. Yeah,
and
Thai.
a professor where, by the way?
Uh, uh, Chairman, he won't be able to speak now.
Okay.
Like he told us, he's in class right now.
Okay, but do you know where he's teaching?
Yes, he's teaching in one of the university in New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. All right. Excellent. My father was a chemistry professor at Rutgers for 51 years. Rutgers,
Wow.
the State University of New Jersey.
Mhm.
Okay. And what about Princess Victoria Arigun?
Good evening, Mr. Michael. Yes, I own a marketing company and I do PR. So I specialize in community outreach marketing and I love everything leadership. So it's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And well, we have a lot in common actually, because I work in communications, media relations, some PR, that sort of thing.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes. Are you in New York City?
No, I'm based in Dallas.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
you're calling in from afar. Okay. Cool. Cool. And by the way, on the call here, I mean, where's everyone from? Well, were most of you born elsewhere, or I was also going to explain that I lived in Southern Africa for 4 years in Lesotho,
Wow.
in the mountain kingdom of Lesotho for 4 years. Yeah,
I was born in America in Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And what? And how did you get the name? But your parents, are your parents Nigerian? I see the name Adi.
Yeah, I'm Nigerian American. Yeah. My parents are both Yoruba, but I was born here. So I always tell people Nigerian American. Yeah.
Good. Don't forget the hyphen. That's right, Nigerian
I'm
American.
telling, I gotta mix it in.
Hyphens are important nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, good. How about who else? How about Carolyn or Caroline?
Yes, Caroline just Jordan. Yeah.
Yes.
Caroline, please introduce yourself to Michael. Caroline. Hello, Caroline.
Okay, hi. Hi, how are you? Sorry,
Hello.
I can't put on my video now, where I am. My
Ah,
name is Caroline Adenaya.
yes.
I live in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm a lawyer
Uh-huh.
and a businesswoman. Thank you.
Good. And I should also ask what brings people to this session actually. Here, let me share that actually just to clarify, I appreciate what Modupe said, but my specialty more specifically is in strategic communications. Can everyone see the screen? So
Yeah.
so I'm calling this talk tonight, this training, why every leader and public speaker needs what I call strategic storytelling.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So should I begin? What do you think, Modupe? Should I begin?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Because we're running out of time. Thank you so much, Michael. Michael, just before Michael starts speaking, please, I would like every one of us on this line to be very comfortable with Mike. He understands. And if you have any question, any concern, Michael will be very ready to attend to our concerns, whatever area, any area we are looking into developing, Michael would point us to what to do.
That's right. I'm here
Thank
for
you so
you.
much, Han.
Here,
So be free, please, and ask questions.
well, fortunately, Modupe is going to lead by example, and she's going to offer herself as an example, okay, as a case study later.
Yes, yes.
Tonight, I want to share some of my skills and strategies with you for how to present, how to speak publicly with greater confidence, and not just confidence, but also to earn greater trust from your audience, okay, from whomever your target audience is. This talk tonight is about strategic communications, okay? And just to introduce myself a bit, that yes, my name is Michael Jordan. No, not that Michael Jordan, but my background is that for 20 years I was a foreign correspondent, an international journalist reporting from 30 different countries, mostly in Central and Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and in Southern Africa. I've been fortunate enough to have lived on four continents, from originally from New Jersey, then to Europe, then Southern Africa, Lesotho, as I said, the mountain kingdom of Lesotho for 4 years, and then over to Beijing, China for 5 years before returning back here to New York during COVID. Okay, so also just to explain that what I'm going to share with you tonight is I began as a foreign correspondent and reporting mostly for newspapers and magazines. Then also became a visiting professor of international journalism. I was teaching at universities in Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. And then when I moved to Lesotho in 2011, that's when I saw how dramatic the situation was, the health situation in this tiny African kingdom, that HIV, then Lesotho was suffering from the world's third highest rate of HIV, 23%. So every family was touched by HIV, plus 40% malnutrition. And so I wanted to contribute somehow. I was inspired to help. And so it was there in Lesotho that I began to adapt all my international journalism skills, strategies, and storytelling to global health and HIV communications. Okay. And now, in the years since, I work after living in China as well. And nowadays, I work with a range of clients from African nonprofits to Chinese tech companies to fashion sustainability brands. Now, I have a couple co-hosts, and we've launched a podcast, a fashion sustainability podcast as well. Okay. And so one thing I do, what I specialize in, is that we are all now facing a global challenge, a global trust crisis that, as you can imagine, that studies have shown that around the world, fewer people believe what they read, what they see online, what they hear. Okay. And so, one thing that we're going to be focusing on tonight is not just how to speak with greater confidence, but how to prove that you mean what you say. Okay. That if you say, for example, I'm a leader in my community, how do you prove that? Okay. We're going to talk about that sort of challenge, how to persuade a smart but skeptical audience that you mean what you say. Okay. Any questions about that so far? Like I said, I'm here for you. I'm not just lecturing as a professor. I would love to make this interactive if you have questions. In fact, you know what? How about everyone just enter into the chat who you are, where you're from, and what brought you to tonight's event. Okay? And throughout, you can either, using the Zoom, you can put your hand up or politely interrupt. Michael, I have a question. Okay? Or enter into the chat and let me know that there's a question there because I hope to answer all your questions and whatever challenges you're facing with your own public speaking and how to prove that you are an emerging and effective leader, whatever the case may be. Okay? So,
Okay.
any questions so far?
Um,
No? We're good?
No,
We're
we are
good?
good. We
Okay,
are good.
good, good. You know what? So, after giving that little introduction, I myself want to open with a story. Okay. Oh, by the way, I also want to explain. I'm going to open with a story, and I want to tell you about. Oh. As you see here, I have a number of different titles here, and I'm recording this too. If you'd like a copy of this recording, okay? I want to share the story about an organization for whom an African nonprofit for whom I serve now as Director of Strategic Communications. You see beneath my name, it's called the Jewelry and Gemstone Association of Africa. Okay. And here is the story I want to share with you. Can everyone see my PowerPoint? Can you see the photo here? Yes, you can see it? So you see
Yeah.
the woman on the left here. This is Longo Mulaisho Zinsner, and she is a Zambian-born Londoner. Okay, she's now in the UK, and I met her a year ago at this event here in the up. Oh, sorry, someone wanted to say something. I heard some voices. You're okay? All good?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm opening with a story, okay, which is I met her a year ago. I was in the audience. You see in the upper right-hand corner, I was a member of the audience, and they introduced her as she is the founder of, you see in the lower right-hand corner, it's called the JGAA, the Jewelry and Gemstone Association of Africa. And they are the first nonprofit in Africa to focus on poverty alleviation in the jewelry and gemstone industry, which is a massive industry in Africa, a major source of employment and revenue. but she's focusing on the miners, the artisans, the craftspeople, okay, ensuring or trying to promote employment with dignity, decent work, decent pay, decent conditions. And so but also to promote designers, the highest level of jewelry and gemstone creation, okay? Not just working with workers at the lowest rungs of society. And I met her a year ago at this event. And she opened by, they said, and next up, our next speaker is Longo, okay? And she opened up by saying, "Hello, my name is Longo. I'm the founder of," and she explained the organization. And afterward, I approached her. I said, "With all due respect, I'd like to help you because, with all due respect, you opened in a very dry sort of way, okay? And I see how you can open in a much more interesting way, okay? With a story, because here she was in New York at this conference with people from around the world representing the jewelry and gemstone industry, gold and jewels and all that, talking about various aspects, sustainability, supply chain, all the different challenges facing the industry. And she was one of the few representatives from Africa. And I knew, having lived in Africa for 4 years, that any founder of a nonprofit, founder of a company, has a good story to tell. Okay? We all have a good story to tell. It depends how we tell the story or if we even recognize that we have a good story to share. And I told her, I said, "You know what? Next time, open with a story, okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to open with a story to tell you how and why I founded my organization." I said, "You could tell the story, okay? You had an audience there, 95% have never been to Africa, okay? And you could have taken them there visually with their imagination, explaining. So there I was 17 years ago, and I saw the challenge on the ground in Zambia and in Southern Africa, the challenge facing this industry. And I realized something needs to be done. I came up with an idea, and I knew I was the one who could tackle this challenge. So that's how I founded this organization. She could have shared that story. And it's not just any story, it's a strategic story. Because within that story would have been some core messages about herself, her inspiration, her motivation, her own values. For those of you who are entrepreneurs, who have founded your own company, your own organization, you're doing meaningful work, you're an emerging or already established leader, okay? I'll talk to you in a few more minutes about the need for a core message, how to craft a core message supported by evidence, concrete, credible, believable evidence to support your message, and then to fold both the message and the evidence, to weave it into a story, a humanizing story about yourself. Why? Because Longo was at this event, ideally, on the one hand, to raise awareness of the challenges that Africa faces or those in the industry face. On the other hand, it's a nonprofit, so she would also want to attract support, financial support, partnerships, sponsors, and others. Okay? So to tell a story like that, she's a very decent woman. She has a good heart. She was inspired to make a difference. And if she had shared some of what's in her heart and in her mind, then she would have touched the heart and mind of those in the audience in a much more impactful, persuasive, even memorable way. Okay? So that's what I'd like to talk to you about tonight, is how to do that. Any questions about that so far? Are you still there?
Yeah.
I only see myself on camera, so it's a little unsettling to just see myself on camera. But you're still there, yes? Yeah? Caroline?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you're all there? Good, good, good.
Yeah, we're getting along. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So So look, back to my little presentation here, okay? So big picture, why did I share this story? As I said before, that we are all a brand, all of us as professionals, as companies, as nonprofits, we are all brands swimming in a sea of brands. And all of us have a self-interest to say how wonderful we are. Okay? No company, no organization, no professional is going to say, yeah, the truth is I'm mediocre at what I do. I'm quite lousy. I'm so-so. No, we all have a strong self-interest to talk about how wonderful we are. Okay? But now we're dealing with an audience, like I said, amid this global trust crisis. We must prove our words. Okay, I know there's a lot of text here, but as I said, we have three main challenges nowadays, especially for those of you on LinkedIn. I would encourage all of you to join LinkedIn, but any of us in the online world face three challenges, as you see here in the middle of the screen. To prove, again, with so many liars out there, so much misinformation, disinformation, scammers, exaggerators out there, we all must prove that we are exactly who we say we are, that we're truly doing what we say that we're doing, and that we are as good as we claim to be. Okay, I myself face that same challenge. Okay, I can't just say, oh, I'm a global communications advisor, media relations strategist. It's a fair question for you to say, is Michael any good at what he does? So, how do I prove that I am good at what I do? Especially when my challenge is to persuade you potentially to hire me. Or, especially in your case, if you are an emerging leader, aspiring leader, how to persuade people to follow you, to support you. Okay? So, as I said below here too, beyond offering lofty words, how do we prove our results or our impact? Okay. And so, one thing I've learned, and I want you all to appreciate what a great challenge this is in terms of strategic communications. Okay. Like I said, I've been very fortunate to have lived on four continents. And I've learned one thing I've learned from living around the world is that there are basically two audiences in the world. Okay, two different kinds of audience. On the left-hand side, you see sheep-like. Okay, an audience, as you know, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's the United States, China, anywhere else. Okay, a certain percentage of society is sheep-like, meaning that they will follow blindly, unthinkingly. If you say, hey, this is the best phone out there, they may say, I believe you, okay, or hey, I should buy that phone. They say it's the best. If someone says, I'm making America great again, people may say, hey, he says he's making America great again. But where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Okay. So then we have the second audience, the thinkers, the critical thinkers. Okay. And that audience, I believe, is the audience that we ourselves are facing. Okay. They are smart, curious, but skeptical, meaning that they will reflexively not believe every word that we utter, that we must work hard to persuade that audience. That audience of critical thinkers will demand evidence. They will demand proof that we mean what we say. Okay? So then I put together this definition. What is strategic storytelling? My definition that it's not just any kind of storytelling, but storytelling for a purpose, okay? As our intent is to achieve a strategic objective. I'm going to talk to you guys about, when talking to Modupe before this event, she said, hey, our community wants to become, we want stronger leaders, but strong leaders need to be able to communicate effectively. So even to talk to each of you about next time you speak, thinking through what's my objective? I'm going to speak before, let's say tonight, I'm speaking to you. What's my objective? I want to demystify, to remove the mystery of how to communicate, how to speak publicly with greater confidence, but greater impact, more persuasively, okay? So when you have a strategic objective, Thinking through then when we or our organization, for example, is under pressure to prove something, that we are effective leaders, okay? That we are as a company, as an organization, or as a professional, that we do deliver results, we do deliver impact, right? And as I say in the third sentence, a key component to overcome our audience's skepticism is concrete, meaning specific, credible, meaning believable, verifiable, meaning can be proven, evidence that we even present transparently. If we have evidence, then we should be confident enough to show our evidence, not hide our evidence, okay? And then ideally, we then weave that together into a humanizing story. Why? One thing I've learned in terms of strategic communications is the 1-2 punch of that when you have a skeptical audience, the the only way to persuade a skeptical audience, if we have any chance to persuade a skeptical mind, is with credible, believable evidence. The only way to touch a skeptical heart is with humanizing content. Okay? Especially to share, to bring to light our shared humanity. I use that phrase a lot, our shared humanity. If I've never been to Atlanta and you want to describe the situation in Atlanta, okay, or in Dallas, or in Abuja, okay, or in Lagos, okay, I haven't been to Nigeria yet, okay, but you say, hey, I want to bring to light the communities that we are empowering on the ground. So then, or that my colleague Longo is doing with the JGAA, okay? That to illuminate the shared humanity of those on the ground. It could be mothers who are worried about feeding their children or the child's health care or having enough money to send them to school, having shoes and a school uniform and a school bag because I want them to be able to go off to university and I want them to be able to lift themselves out of poverty, let's say, to break the cycle of poverty. That's the shared humanity because mothers around the world care about the welfare of their children and the future of their children, right? So it doesn't matter if I've never been to Nigeria, if you can tell an effective story to bring to light what the situation is on the ground at the grassroots. That's one way, and that's why I told Longo, here you are from Zambia originally, you're talking to an audience in New York City, okay? You can touch their hearts and minds by sharing a story of what you saw on the ground in the jewelry and gemstone industry, okay? Any questions about that so far? I know I'm sharing a lot tonight, okay?
Yes, yes.
And but any questions so far?
No, no, not no.
Please don't be afraid to ask, okay? I'm going to go through this quickly now, okay? Because just to let you know, this is not just about me, but I do like to explain even how I learned these things, okay? So this is me as a young reporter. This was from Serbia when I was reporting. So I'm learning many of these skills. Then I lived in Lesotho, as I said, from 2011 to 2015. These are the Basotho people living high in the mountains of southern Africa. Okay. So we were there for 4 years. And I did some reporting there. There was an attempted military coup. I wrote this article for Foreign Policy magazine just to show some of the work that I did. But then also, this was my greatest, most meaningful project was when I was then hired by an American nonprofit there to bring to light their impact, where then I conducted 24 interviews with women and children suffering from HIV. And then voices, we called it Voices from the Mountains of Lesotho. But it wasn't just stories, it was strategic storytelling to prove the impact of this nonprofit in this tiny country in Southern Africa. Ooh, I see a hand. Where's the
Yes,
hand? Yes,
yes,
please.
Michael. I just want to bring this in. Even if you know what you want to say, you know, you have the story, but you are still stage frightened. You are still, you know, nervous to push it out. What's the strategy for that?
You know what? You know what? That's an excellent question, of course, right? What to do about anxiety? And I'm not going to suggest you have 2 or 3 glasses of wine before you speak publicly so you feel more relaxed. But what I have learned is that if your mind is as organized as possible, as clear as possible, then that reduces your anxiety. So actually now, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up. I'm gonna jump to my 4-step method because what I've learned is that the more I prepare and then even rehearse a bit where I know how I'm going to start, where I'm going to lead the audience from point A to point B to point C. Okay. I rehearse a little, not overwhelm myself, not memorize a whole presentation. But if I feel good about the structure and I feel good about my key talking points, my core messages, then I know that if I hit 50% of what I was aiming for, then there'll be value that I'm delivering. And so it's okay to be nervous. Okay. And sometimes you can even be proactive and tell the audience, hello, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Oh, that's okay. Go ahead. There's an elephant in the room, right? I'm nervous. It's okay. People are supportive because, hey, you're showing a lot of guts to get up on stage with a microphone in your hand, right? So you disarm, you proactively set. That's one way to do it. But really, to answer your question, I do believe it's about the advanced preparation. You're going to be more nervous if you feel like, I'll wing it. I'll see how it goes. Okay. But really, if you structure, and that's what I'd like to share with you tonight, is even a bit of structure for how to organize your presentation, your speech. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that help, Modupe?
Yes, thank you.
Sure, my pleasure. Okay. Oh, is there another question? I see, or you're just joining us. Oh, Ololade. Good. We have more people joining us. Welcome, Ololade and Yinka. Thank you very much for joining. Sorry you're joining a little late, but I still hope to deliver some value here. Okay. So I'm breezing through. I want to get back to, like I said, how to impact our audience. These are some of my key lessons learned. Okay. That the most effective, persuasive way to impact a smart but skeptical audience is with humanized, evidence-based content. Again, for the skeptical mind, for the skeptical heart, okay? Humanized example, storytelling that spotlights our shared humanity. I already mentioned that, okay? One thing I learned, this is a great expression for you all to embrace that I learned back in journalism school decades ago. Show, don't tell. Okay? Don't just tell what the situation is. Show them with some examples, with some evidence. Okay? Again, to persuade a skeptical audience, right? Not just, I'm doing a great job or I'm an effective leader. That's telling someone. Show them with examples of your leadership, for example. Okay? Anecdotes. Okay? You see here, I have examples. When storytelling, it's not enough to tell the audience, let's say, oh, the situation in Nigeria is very difficult. What's the definition of difficult? You ask 10 people, you get 10 different definitions of what a difficult life is. No, if part of your objective is to bring to light what the situation is and why your organization, your nonprofit, or your government agency or whatever needs support, then you need to actually describe with some colorful, relevant detail and with evidence to show how difficult it is on the ground. Now, here's a 4-step strategy, my 4-step formula, okay, that I hope you'll all walk away with here tonight, okay? Before you speak, Modupe especially, okay, since you're asking now.
Yes.
Next time you speak beforehand, think through, wait a minute, who exactly is my target audience? Okay. Why are they my audience? Okay. Why would or should they read this or listen to me? What can they learn from me? More importantly, why should they care? Okay. Modupe, if you're giving a talk, a speech, right? You got the microphone in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
to think through, hey, why should they even care about what I'm about to say? In what way possibly might it touch them or affect their lives, their community, their country, okay, whatever it may be. So then what can they learn from me and my speech tonight, my presentation, okay? In what way can they benefit? Why should they care? Why does it matter? And the reason why this is important, because if you just go into a talk, a presentation, and you say, I'm going to talk about this, that, and the other thing, and you're just firing off your words blindly, okay? You're not going to hit your target. So, with strategic communications, the challenge is to visualize your target as clearly as possible, then to aim your words. That's how you can be as accurate as possible, is to have a sense as to who your audience is. So, just a simple example, let's say Modupe, okay?
Yes.
If you were speaking with an audience of Nigerians versus an audience of Americans, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to talk about more or less a similar topic, you'd say, wait. I need to calibrate. Okay, the Nigerians know the situation well on the ground. They don't know everything, right? But they know many elements, okay? But the American audience will know much less, right? So then you're thinking through, okay, what do they know and why? What don't they know and why? What do they need to know so they can follow as clearly as possible? So that's all. This is even a challenge of a foreign correspondent, an international journalist versus a local journalist, okay? Is how to make your story as accessible, how to make your speech as accessible as possible. You're describing some complicated issue, how to make it accessible and welcoming so people can follow you clearly and comfortably, okay? So
Okay.
that's the who, okay? Very
Mm-hmm.
important. Always think through who exactly my audience is first. Then, what exactly do I want to write or say? What point or argument will I make? What idea am I proposing? What message will I deliver directly to their heart or to their mind? Or what story do I want to tell? What do I want to say? Okay? Now, step number 3 is the most difficult because this is really the critical thinking step. It's not just before, let's say, this Zoom training that I say, okay, I want to talk about this and that. I need to think through why exactly do I want to make this point or this argument or present this idea or deliver that message? Why exactly? Okay, why exactly would my audience, which I've thought through, okay, who they are, and why they're listening to me, why exactly would my audience find this point or argument or idea or message interesting or even important? Okay, even ideally both. My audience should find what I'm saying both interesting and important. Why? So then you need to make the argument. So why would my words be persuasive? Why exactly should they even read or listen to me? So here's a filter. Can you see this filter? I know it's smaller.
Yeah.
And this is really critical thinking skills on your parts before you speak, okay? Which is my audience, whom I've thought through again, should find my content tonight interesting, persuasive, even valuable because why? Why exactly? We all need to make the case for why we should even write something or say something, okay? In my situation for tonight, I thought what I'm sharing with you, you might find this interesting or important because many of you who have to speak publicly may face anxiety, nervousness, okay? Or it would be understandable, lack of confidence, or I ramble on, let's say, whatever it may be. So then I wanted to, on the one hand, like I said, to demystify, to remove the mystery of certain skills and strategies. On the other hand, to empower you by sharing some of these with you so you feel more confident the next time you have to speak. That was my goal, and I thought that you, as my audience, would be receptive to that because we can all use such professional development skills in our lives. You can tell me later whether it's effective or not, okay? And then step number 4 is how. Once we feel confident that, okay, I've got a hell of a great message for tonight and what I want to say and why that message. Now, how do you want to deliver that message? How do you want to present your argument? Okay. So how exactly do I want to make this point or argument? How exactly do I want to propose this idea or deliver my message? How exactly do I want to tell this story or create this content? Supported by which facts, evidence, details, examples, anecdotes, so many things, insights, photos, videos, whatever it may be. Okay. Thinking through now what you think is the most effective, persuasive, impactful, even memorable way to communicate strategically with your audience. Okay. 4 steps: who, what, why, how. Any questions about that? I see another hand up. Yes, Modupe, you have a question?
Mhm. Um, I'll wait for the other person. There's another hand up.
Go ahead. Who else has a question, please? Gives me a chance to drink some water. Go ahead. Anyone else?
I want to thank you, Mr. Jordan. Sorry I
Michael,
couldn't,
Michael, please go ahead. Yes.
Mr. Michael Jordan. Sorry I couldn't, participate in the beginning
Yes.
because I, busy somewhere. But I was listening in. I want to thank you about your strategic communication and your style. It's a welcome development. I learned a lot as a professor of media studies and
Where?
mass communication,
Cool.
and I teach at the College of New Rochelle, New York City,
Mhm.
now merged with Mercy College, and I do adjunct at the Grand Canyon University.
Cool.
I have a PhD in mass media, mass
Hmm.
communication, and media studies.
Hmm.
I have a PhD in business administration, and I have a PhD in healthcare administration. I am a licensed, drug substance abuse counselor, KSAC, and MSW.
Wow.
And I have written several books on media studies, substance abuse, business administration, and I have also engaged in strategic communication. So I align with your key elements in this presentation, and I really appreciate you. And it's a good thing that a lot of us on this platform we have a great takeaways. So I thank you intensively for this presentation. I love it, and I will continue to impart knowledge based on what you have done. So we align.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to hear that. Yes. I mean, look, we only have an hour or 75 minutes or so, and we can all benefit from some fresh ideas now and then, right?
Yeah.
Or at least some refreshers, right? Some pointers about how to do it better, right? And so thank you for that. You're wearing lots of hats here tonight with lots of titles. Very impressive. And, and I wanted to share one more thing. I mean, there's really a lot to talk about. We started late. I want to share one thing, another skill about a core message. Okay. This is really very important because before, let's say, using Modupe as an example again, sorry to keep referring.
It's okay.
But when we're asked to speak or we volunteer to speak, okay, and someone puts a microphone in our hands, from a thought leadership perspective, that's called a microphone moment, a brand building moment. It's a golden opportunity for you to build your brand, to elevate yourself, okay, to thought leader, okay. But you may think to yourself, oh, I have so much to say, so much to share with the audience, okay? That we may overwhelm them. I may be overwhelming you tonight as well, okay? That's why it's important to think through beforehand. Whenever I create content, okay? When I'm writing an article or video, whatever it may be, ideally, we hope. When I was a young journalist, I used to think that, oh, I've spent days or weeks on this article. I hope my readers remember every word of the article. Okay. Totally unrealistic. Okay. Especially nowadays when we have so much competition for our eyeballs. Okay. All throughout the day, we're on our phones and all that. And so, realistically, when we communicate with a speech, let's say, okay, with a piece of content, we should hope that our audience remembers one thing from our content, from our speech. One thing, at least one thing. And then, if they're going to remember only one thing, what should that one thing be? Okay? Meaning, let's say from tonight's training, okay? You're not going to remember everything I talked about, okay? Even though I would love for you to. No, it's not going to happen. But tomorrow or in 1 week, if someone were to say, "Hey, you were on that Zoom training. What was it about?" He was talking about strategic. So, you need to think through your messaging, your audience. Okay, I'm happy with that as a core message. Thinking through your audience, core message, bringing to life a story to touch the heart and mind. I would love for that to be a core message, okay? So my point is that very often we start planning a speech. I want to say this, I want to say that, blah, 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 okay? Or I want to create content for my LinkedIn platform, a post, or what have you, right? I do it backward. Okay. I think through what would I want my audience to remember? And if they're going to remember only one thing, what would that one thing be? And when I think through, I want them to remember X, Y, Z, then I take that. If that's so important, I want my audience to remember that. Let me put that at the beginning as the focus of my talk or of this piece of content. And that's the core message. And then everything should be built around that core message. Because again, we hope that they remember one thing from whatever we're trying to communicate. Okay? Sure, sometimes it could be two or three core messages. Okay? But we should know that the more we burden our audience, the less they're going to remember, right? So again, there's value to in a 1 hour training. If you remember one or two things from this, my job is done. Okay, I'll feel very satisfied with that. Do you see what I mean? In terms of how to, I say, craft a core message. It requires some polishing to think through this is what I want to say, and this is why I want to say it. In fact, let me think through why I think this will resonate. Okay, this will touch the heart and mind of my audience so that we feel that confident. Modupe, even going back to your anxiety, let's say, or nervousness or what have you, before you speak, if you feel good about it, hey, I have this opportunity, 10, 15, 20 minutes to share some knowledge, to share value, what have you. If they remember this, I'll be very happy. So let me make sure that from the beginning, my talk is really revolving around that core message. And then I think that helps to reduce some anxiety. Okay. Like I know what I'm going to say. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Okay. And thank you. I mean, just imagine the challenge again. We're doom scrolling through our phones, right? Content from all different directions. And it's in one ear, out the other, right? Or our eyes glaze over. So that's why with our strategic communications, how to grab attention, pull in the audience, but make sure they're going to remember one thing. Do not overwhelm them. Okay? If they want more, then hopefully they come back to your platform for more of such content. It's very difficult to do. It's very high level to really be that effective, that efficient with our words, with our strategic communications. But I'd be thrilled if at least walking away from this training tonight, you recognize that that should be a goal. Okay? We want our audience to remember at least one core message from our content, from our strategic communications. Okay?
Yeah.
Now I see it's 8:56 in New York. Okay.
Yes.
There's more to talk. You know what? I'm going to say one more thing about empathy and EQ. Okay. The
Okay.
emotional quotient. I talk about this every day. I have 3 kids. I talk about this with my own kids. Okay. So many of us, as you know, are self-absorbed, right? Focusing on ourselves. But if we want to truly be effective and impactful with our strategic communications, we must imagine ourselves in the shoes of our audience. Okay.
Mm.
Even if I'm not African, I'm not a woman, I'm not an African woman. Okay. But I can strive to imagine myself in the shoes of an African woman if I'm communicating with one. Okay, what might push the right button, what might not, why not? At least to strive for that empathy, okay, to imagine ourselves in the shoes, because that is absolutely one of the keys to strategic communications, not just being stubborn and self-absorbed and say, this is what I want to say. No, is it going to push the right button with the audience? Okay. One last thing before I ask you guys for some specific challenges that you may have. I want to give, since I know Mudupe and several of you are Nigerian and of Nigerian background, I do want to share that one of my clients over the past few years is a Nigerian nonprofit, a women's organization in Abuja. Okay, they're called Tech Her Africa. Okay. And here, as you see, this is from their homepage. This is a short little case study. At Tech Her Africa, we are powering inclusive digital tools and technologies to serve female farmers and traders in rural and underserved communities in Africa. Very meaningful. I know because I lived in Africa for 4 years, so I really became very fond of the leaders of this nonprofit, right? And so here's the about us. And when I first met them a few years ago, the founder and leader, here's the founder and leader, okay? Imade Bibowe Osuobeni, okay? I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I score points for
Correct.
effort at least, right?
Yes.
And when I met Imad, okay, Imade, I told her and her team, I said, it sounds wonderful what you're doing, but do you have any proof? Do you have any evidence that you're making a difference in the lives of any of the women you're training? Okay. They had stats like, we've so far trained 4,000 provincial Nigerian women. I said, okay. And, they could have been playing Candy Crush while they're at your training. It could have gone in one ear, out the other. Have they actually taken the skills that they learned from you and other trainers and then applied them? And has it truly made a difference in their lives and in the lives of their families, of their communities? How do you prove that? Why does this matter? Because, of course, Tech Her Africa is looking for donations, donors, support, right, to broaden and deepen their activities. So I was focused on the need for impact stories, what I call impact stories, evidence-driven impact stories to prove, okay, strategic storytelling. But then, as part of this, and this goes back to strategic storytelling and leadership, okay, I said, Imade, we also need your story as a founder, okay? And then I led her to tell her story, okay? In writing, but also to learn how to present it to audiences when she's in a room full of donors and potential donors. Then now she can open by telling a story of, so there I was. I've been very fortunate to have been, this is her, okay? To have been educated in London, to have been able to do XYZ as a young, educated Nigerian. Privileged, okay? When I went back home to Abuja, I realized how fortunate I was and how I could help make a difference in the lives of less fortunate Nigerian women in my hometown and nearby. Okay? So that's part of her origin story. And she can paint a picture. I saw them struggling in this way and that way, and I saw how I could help. What they need is training to find more clients, not just in their hometown or village, but across Africa, or across Nigeria. So they need to get online, use Facebook as a way to find clients, but then they also need financial skills to start a bank account. Okay, so she's taking very humble farmers, women, chopping up cassava, selling cassava, and turning them into entrepreneurs. Okay. Now, what's the value of her sharing her story? If you were to read this and go to techherafrica.org, okay, to learn more about their organization and this story, is that, again, just like with Longo, that then Imade would then touch the heart and mind of those potential donors. She would share that inspiration. She would share her likability. I like her. I like where Imade's heart is at, where her mind is at. Because then she also shared how she built this organization. So I came up with an idea and I found a partner, my cousin, Ivie, and another friend, and we formed this organization together. First we did this, then we did that. So she's even sharing in this piece her competence in terms of building an organization step by step. And potential donors now would read this and listen to this and say, I believe her, I'm trusting her now, I like her, and I want to support her and her organization. That's the goal, okay? Ultimately, is how to lower the wall of suspicion and skepticism, how to build a bridge of trust with our audience, and to build that bridge of trust and unlock support or cooperation or partnership. Okay, it's got to be, we got to reduce that skepticism and build a bridge of trust with our audience as a fundamental step. Any questions about that?
Well, there is no question, but I just want to reflect
Yes.
on your the key takeaways from what
Yes,
you have said and what I have learned.
please.
My key takeaways from your core messages: number one, talked about cognitive economy over informational abundance. I see you note that we naturally summarize film or book in one or two sentences. So this reflects a well-documented limits on working memory
Hmm.
and attention. So the implication, right? The impact is not proportional to length or labor.
Hmm.
And number two, attention as a two-stage problem, as you indicated first. Attract
The shorter attention spans?
exactly that you mentioned the
Of course.
eyeballs in a
Right.
crowded media ecology.
That's right.
And secondly, my takeaway is to convert attention into lasting impression. So many, practitioners conflict the two. So you separate them, succinctly, arguing that clarity of purpose, why this is interesting, even important, it's a bridge. I
Yeah.
really like the way you put it, and it's very clear,
Yeah.
as for strategic communication, you have to pay attention. You also indicated what I really love
Mhm.
is your approach on the singularity as discipline. This is key.
What
You
do you,
know,
meaning what? Singularity as discipline. What do you mean by that?
yeah, the instruction to identify one core message force trade-offs that
Yes.
rejects common impulse to include every relevant fact. Instead, requires hierarchy of significance. And you presented it very succinctly, and I like that concept. And I have actually adopted that in my book, the Virginia University of Lynchburg, on when we were writing about leadership
Mm.
and presentation.
Yes.
So it's in my book. Book is on Amazon. I will send you the details of the book. I align with that,
And then
and
I'd
I
like to
believe.
get your autograph in there as well. A signed.
Absolutely,
Yes.
I really appreciate that. I appreciate your presentation. There's a lot that I learned, but I'm not going to hold the mic for that long because we have a short time.
Well, I would thank you for that. I would love to hear from any of you right now. Those of you who may have an upcoming presentation, then we can brainstorm a strategy for you, a roadmap for how to do it. Because I know that what I'm sharing with you is quite abstract, the skills and strategies, and it always works better when I can apply it to a real life scenario. So anyone out there have a talk or presentation coming up that you're nervous about and you're not quite sure how to approach it, let me hear it, please. You're among friends, just amongst us.
Mike,
Yes.
can you hear? Yeah, can you hear me? I think one hand is up, and I'm not sure whose hand is that.
Who? Who? Please.
Somebody's raising their hands up.
Really? I don't see it, but please, the floor
Okay.
is yours. Go ahead. Oh, I see iPhone guest. Who's the iPhone guest? Please speak.
Uh,
Okay.
unmute,
Uh,
unmute your
well,
phone if you are iPhone. We don't know your name.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
That's the Modupe herself now. They're using iPhone.
oh, okay. So
Okay,
let
you have the
me.
floor now, woman leader.
Okay. Okay. So, Mike, if you are going to be doing this ongoing for some group of people, what does it entails? You
Um,
know,
what do you mean by that exactly?
yeah, no, if you are going to be training some people, some group of people, it
Yeah.
might be group, it might be individual. How do you go about this?
Well, I'd be happy to, if there's interest, we could absolutely organize a workshop, a 3 or 4 session workshop where I could walk you through each of you as a group. Okay, we can learn from each other. Coming up
Okay.
with, again, thinking through that, let's say we all have a presentation or we know that we're going to be asked in the future to talk about certain things, our organization, our company, for investors, for donors, whomever it is, right? Whatever our pet passions are, our causes. So whoever's interested, we can talk about, okay, starting with what are your short and long-term objectives? What are you trying to
Okay.
achieve? Who are your target audiences? Walking through the 4-step who, what, why, how. And then as a group, I can lead you through, I can create a structure, an outline. Many of us hate outlines, but it's necessary, okay? An actual
Okay.
structure, beginning, middle, and an end for each of you, okay? Then as
Okay.
homework, I would say, hey, I've given you the skeleton, a roadmap. Now go home and put meat on the bones. And then the second session, we practice, we go through, and I'm improving. We're talking about, we're brainstorming again as a workshop, a small group workshop. We could organize 5, 10 of us, okay, who are interested. Then, so I'm giving you feedback during that second session. Then you go back and improve it. And the third time, okay, now we're ready to present in front of each other. Some practice, some rehearsing, okay, really polishing up so that then we feel confident about how to deliver a core message or a key talking point that we have to introduce. Again, if we have to introduce our company, our nonprofit, whatever our cause is, introduce ourselves, okay? We can
Yeah,
do,
Mr. Jordan.
yeah,
Mr. Jordan, let me piggyback on woman leader on the question she raised.
yeah.
I believe she's trying to know your terms of terms and conditions if you need to be engaged
Thank you.
to deliver, this message either virtually or, personally, hybridly. So that, as a matter of fact, I was going to ask you. And I want to find, by the way,
Are,
where are
are
you
we
located?
are we talking money? Is that what we're saying? What do I charge?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And
Oh,
where,
I didn't
where,
want to
where,
get,
where are you located, Mr. Jordan?
I didn't want to dirty our hands by talking about money, but but
Where
I'm
are you
not
located, though?
in New York City.
Oh, you're in New York City. Okay.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
going to need you in August 7th. We have
Yes.
a program. Our
yes.
women have a program. We'd like to invite you. It's going to be at the Nigerian consulate.
It would be
So
lovely.
we're going to reach out to you. I believe this is important because we have dignitaries. And
Yes.
the way I want to structure it as, a trainer's trainer so that at the end of the day, they can go and impart knowledge and train other people.
Yeah.
So we're going to reach out to you separately on that. So I believe that answers your question, woman leader. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
sir.
we're one step ahead of you because Modupe and I already discussed a couple of weeks ago that of
Okay.
course I would be happy to speak at that event, but even to be on the sidelines as a coach for extra hours if people say that, oh, I'm available for 30 minutes or 1 hour.
Right.
to speak with individuals. I'm here in the city, and so I'd be happy to be on site at the events at the Nigerian consulates.
Okay. Very good.
Okay?
So we have Mr.
Can you
Eluladi
have a
on the phone.
question?
We have
Yeah.
Mr. Eluladi on the phone.
But
Mr.
also but just to clarify, because I know that listening to the group here, we have some listeners from Atlanta, Dallas who won't be in the city, and I'm happy to create, if there's interest, we could do an online
Oh
training,
yes, oh
online
yes, oh yes.
workshop.
We're gonna have that option. But
Okay?
we have a gentleman in the house who runs a very big business. It's called Niger Corner.
Uh-huh.
And we want this, business to grow. It's on the phone now. My interest is, I'm sure we can discuss about how to collaborate with Niger Corner to improve, you know, um, on your business using this strategic communication strategy. Elot, I'm sure you might want to engage Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, Mr. Michael,
Yes.
this is a powerful information.
My pleasure.
Yeah, getting to learn or to know how to talk to, present, and manage, people while discussing with them,
Mm-hmm.
which, like my chairman said, I have a business just like the Amazon, the Craigslist, and the eBay kind of, but it's strictly for Nigerians.
Hmm.
Yeah, the way Amazon is like for Americans,
Yeah.
or let's say eBay and Craigslist are meant for like those in Canada, America, and maybe a part of the Europe. So mine as well is Nigeria Corner made for Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful marketplace, a classified as marketplace
Hmm.
where series of buying and selling takes place.
Mm-hmm.
So why he mentioned my name is quickly because soon, very soon,
Yes.
I should be going probably to Nigeria, talk about these benefit of the business and things that people really need to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Amazon, everybody knows eBay, everybody knows Craigslist. So, and they know probably part of the benefits. This one has so much more. We could probably get to know the exchange rate,
Mm-hmm.
series of things. It's, AI embedded, and, a part of those that built Twitter, built my Nigeria Corner,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it a world-class standard marketplace.
Nice.
So definitely as soon, as I'm ready, definitely I'll be going to Nigeria as well, you know, create probably meeting people in the market or, associations or, group of people, talk and discuss with them about the benefits, why they need to be a part of, a system made by Nigerian for Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's good. I'm here to learn more.
Great.
And I'm appreciative
I'd be
about
happy
it.
to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to contribute for sure. Are
Yeah.
you in New York as well?
Yeah, I'm in New York. I live in Queens.
Mm-hmm. Good. Great. So will you be at the event as well in early August? Will I meet you there?
Yeah, I should be there. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
So does anyone have any challenges that they'd like me to brainstorm with you? I'd be happy to brainstorm some roadmaps, how to move forward.
Well, as for me, maybe I'll think about that,
Uh-huh.
so that I'll know where and where. Hmm.
Like even Ololade, that was you
Yeah.
speaking, right? Even to this is challenging for all of us, right? Even to think through. I also work with clients on their elevator pitches. Does everyone know what an elevator pitch is? It's so important nowadays, like 45 seconds to 1 minute to introduce ourselves, shake hands. Hi, my name is, this is what I do, and this is why my company, my brand, my product, my service matters. Here's the challenge that we're addressing. Here's how our solution works. Whatever it may be, if we're looking for investors, partners, clients, donors, whatever it may be. So even just that skill of how to be as clear and effective as possible, introducing us, our company, our brand, our product, especially to do it in a strategic, memorable way, right? If our goal really is to walk away. And one way to do it, by the way, and you mentioned a bit about this, Ololade, is also even to think through what makes my product unique. Okay, because when we think through immodestly, hey, I'm unique because I'm special because my company, my nonprofit, my brand or service is unique because, then that's one way, that's one possible way to make us more memorable. If we're able to communicate our uniqueness, then it also enhances the possibility that we will be remembered, right? Like, oh, you're the one with that company that's addressing that challenge, let's say, with a unique product, right? It's very difficult to do, but with practice, it can be done. I'd be happy to help any of you with those sorts of, whether it's an elevator pitch, 1 minute presentation, how to introduce yourself, or actual speeches that you give, or as I also describe myself as a thought leader architect for those of you who are specialists and want to elevate yourself to experts, how to do that, okay? By expressing your thought leadership with different opportunities, such as these microphone moments, okay? Speaking up on stage or lectures or webinars, whatever it may be, okay? So I'd be happy to, Modupe, we can follow up if the group is interested, if there are members interested in something more tangible, a workshop being led through the process. I'm happy to do that because for many years I was also, as I said, a visiting professor of international journalism, leading students through actually creating articles from abroad for
Yeah.
the international audience. So that's what I really enjoy is coaching and mentoring to create the
Thank you so
okay.
Thank you so much, Mike. Mike, we would like for you to send your email out. You could put it on the platform, and our people will reach out to you because a lot of us are here tonight. Can you
Sure.
hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
A lot of us, a lot of us are on the platform tonight. We have so much in our mind to ask you. We will
Okay.
be asking you. Some people will be reaching out to you personally,
Sure.
and you will be seeing a lot of the on the WhatsApp group.
Yes.
So
My
please take
pleasure.
note, and we
Here.
will be reaching out to you, like the chairman's like our chairman rightly put it out there. We will be
Excellent.
reaching out to you
Excellent. Great. Here, I don't know if you can see.
in the next few days.
Okay. Can you see my screen? Here's my mobile
Yes,
there, and you
yes,
can reach me on
yes, yes,
WhatsApp through
yes.
the numbers.
Please leave it on the WhatsApp group. You
Absolutely.
could leave this. Yeah.
Okay.
So
My pleasure.
it's been an impactful night. Thank you so much. We are
My pleasure.
grateful.
Okay. Until next time,
All right.
hope
Thank
to
you.
meet many of you in person
Thank
in
you.
early
Thank you,
August.
Mr. Jordan. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
wait. Can I
Thank
ask
you.
everyone to turn on your cameras so I can take a screenshot, please?
Please turn your camera on.
Is that possible, please? There we go.
Please turn your camera on so that I can take.
Yeah, let's do that. A little visual evidence.
Did you
Anyone
get
else?
it? Did you get it?
No, I don't even see Ololade. All right, there we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to put on the shirt because
Great. Anyone else?
Yes,
Can anyone else join? Caroline or Ty or Overcom Consulting? I see. Anyone else?
please put the camera
There
on.
we go. There we go. And anyone else? All right. If not, all right, just freeze for a moment. Let me take a few photos. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wait. Another one, just in case eyes were closed. Hold on. Ready?
Thank you.
1, 2, 3. Great. Okay. Is that it then for tonight? I don't want to keep you from your dinner or your enjoyment for the rest of the evening.
Yes,
Okay.
thank
We're
you.
good. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Okay. See you again soon. Okay.
Michael,
Okay. Is this
see you
recorded?
soon.
Is this
Yeah.
session recorded?
Is that okay?
Is it recorded?
Yes.
Is it recorded?
Okay.
Is it recorded?
We can get a copy?
I will send you a copy then if you like. I'll put it in a Google Drive. Okay.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Okay. My
All right.
pleasure.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you
all.
so much. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night.
All right. See you. Talk to
Bye-bye.
you soon.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you, Madupe.